Hi, good day everyone. I am Rochilian Buhawe, and the next topic that I will be discussing to you will be all about the types of probability sampling or the techniques of sampling. So the first type that we have is the pure random sampling. So in this type, everyone in the population of the inquiry has the equal chance to be selected as samples. So ikintahay, if the researchers target population is by two students. So tanan nga by two student has the equal chance to be selected as kanang target, and this type also is kanang also called as lottery or raffle sampling, since ang pamaagi man sa pag-choose sa kanang target market is kanang through kanang draw by lot type. Usually, in this type of sampling, researchers will decide of a certain proportion out of the whole population. Kintahay, there are 200 kinkahay ang 200 kabok ang by students. So ang ganahan nga i-sample ra sa researchers is 20%. So he will divide 20% out of 200 and mauna na siya ang mahimong kanang sample. So after that, the researchers will do kanang listing of kanang names of all the target population nga of all the target population, and it's pwede pod if nga ilang butangan og representative nga number ang each name, ug mao na to ilahang i-draw using ibutang na ilist na sa paper, sa small paper, then ila to ibutang in a small container or a box ba nga pwede nila kanang pwede nila kanang himuon nga kanang tool para ato nila i-pick ang each paper that which will be kanang kahit kuan man to no 200 man to kakan, so 20% sa 200 is 40. So the researchers will then pick 40 papers out of the box, and katong na pick nga 40 papers will be the sample. The main advantage of this technique is that it is easy to understand and it is easy to apply, while the disadvantage of this technique is that it is very hard to use with too large population. The next type is the systematic sampling. This is a technique of sampling in which kanang every nth name of the list is selected to be included in the sample. So the researchers needs to know the names of the population to determine the nth name. This is kanang used when the subjects or the respondents of the study are arranged in a systematic or logical manner. The end term is determined by the size of the population and the desired sample size. For example, suppose 20% of the population is the sample size. So if there are 100 population, we divide it by 20%, and so we got 5 as the nth number. So every fifth name in the list is then selected. So however, there must be a random start. The researchers may close his eyes and can run his fingers down the list, and then he will stop himself. Then the number that which his finger points to will be the starting point. And mo na start the succeeding number of that kanang numbers is being choose kanang through kanang adding 5 kay fifth man to nga to and term, diba? So mo to i-add na ang 5 sa every succeeding sa kanang imong starting point. The main advantage of this technique of sampling is that it is more convenient, faster, and more economical than the pure random sampling, while the main disadvantage is that the sample becomes biased if the person in the list belongs to a class by themselves, whereas the investigation requires all sectors of the population are to be involved. So let's move to the next type, which is the stratified random sampling. So this type is a process of selecting randomly the samples from the different strata or population used in the study. It is obtained by randomly sampling people from each subgroup from the same proportion as they exist in the population. Thus, it is used if the populations in the inquiry has class, stratification, or grouping. The procedure follows determining a common stratum or class to which all elements of the population belong. That researchers divide all groups of the elements of the population according to the characteristic inherent by the whole class. Its advantage is that it contribute much to the representativeness of the study, and it is easy to apply. Here is the illustration of the technique. Suppose the student of a college are the respondents sa study kintahay. The students are stratified according to their kanang courses they're taking, kanang sex, kanang year o kanang ilahang year level. The sample of 20% is taken from every stratum. In the table, we can see that there are 50 male in the first year taking education. The sample is 20% of 50 is kanang 10. Next type is the purposive sampling. This type determines the target population that are involved in the study. So the respondents are chosen of the basis of their knowledge regarding the information being needed for the study. For example, if research is to be conducted on the history of a place, then the old people in the place must be consulted. So basically, this technique follows a kanang certain criteria of choosing respondents. However, the actual selection of the respondents is that either by pure random sampling or systematic random sampling. And for the last type, we have kanang cluster sampling or the multi-stage cluster sampling or simply multi-stage, which is used when the population is so big and or the geographical area of the research is so big, and in this technique, instead of sampling individuals from the whole population, researchers kanang samples entire cluster or naturally occurring groups that exist within the population. So the general rule is to divide the area of population into clusters or blocks, and within the final cluster na imong gi-divide, and if the different methods of the kanang sample is kanang pwede himuon kintahay kanang we want to kanang study kanang attitude sa students sa Philippines. So it is very expensive man king kahay sa ato nga kay katla nga estudyante mo study sa kanang attitude sa Philippines kung kay net 3.5 million ang students. So to minimize the cost and utilize the time, the researchers will then randomly select clusters that already exist, such as mga zip codes, mga areas, or by cities ba or province nga na ang way sa kanang pag cluster kay cities ang iyang cluster nga gipili. So if the researchers already 5 cities at random, so everyone in the 5 cities will be the sample. So that would be all for my topic. Thank you.